So, Pete, with all your experience and obviously many years in a unusually diverse career, what advice would you give to a new up-and-coming young audio engineer, and where do you see the industry going in the future?
Boy, I mean, as far as advice, it's really tough. But one thing I would encourage people to do, and I'm only coming to this conclusion kind of late in life myself, and that is to join the Audio Engineering Society. And you'd think, well, I said it earlier, that I always thought that everybody in the Audio Engineering Society was going to be either in the recording business, like I am, the music recording business, or they're, some scientific geeky type writing papers that I wouldn't want to be caught dead reading. And they're both kind of true. I mean, there's anything and everything. But if your only source of good, solid information about audio is the internet, it's not like when I was fortunate enough to cut my teeth that I got to work at a studio where the best and the brightest cats would come through, and you could, sit next to them, see them do their thing, and you go, wow, that's cool. I'm stealing that trick. Or, I'm not sure that really works. Does he understand music at all? Like putting them, you would have a chance to evaluate every day when you saw something that really worked, and something that kind of didn't. And make your own kind of, your own pastiche of techniques and everything. And, learn from the ground up what the craft is all about. I remember starting at Capitol Records and learning that they had in the past, before my time, well, as I also said that I started as a technician, that if you were on the engineering program, on the road to becoming an engineer, they started you in mastering. I guess EMI used to do that too, right? So that you knew what the finish line looked like. That's how I think of it, right? You knew what the record was, what it could and should sound like. And I think especially in that era when vinyl was the ultimate delivery system, you had to learn all sorts of things that you could not do to cut a vinyl record, like issues with sibilance and low end and phase relationships. All these things that cutting a CD or a WAV file, who gives a shit, right? I mean, you can be totally ignorant of all that stuff, or you can be super duper creative with all those things that used to be a no-no. Now, if you can find a creative use for all those things that were, verboten before, bravo. It is a different landscape.
So in relation to your advice of learning the whole thing, of how the whole thing works, like say someone can't, on their first day, get a job at a Capitol Records or something like that.
Those jobs are gone.
Where would you recommend someone not looking on the internet go to get that type of experience?
Well, it kind of depends on what your goal is. Like in the Audio Engineering Society meetings that we have every month, we have them now at a school here in Hollywood called the School of Audio Engineering, which is I think they're in 38 countries. I mean, it's a huge endeavor, this outfit.
They are.
But from what I see at our local one, a lot of the people who are in the engineering program are learning to engineer audio for themselves. I mean, they don't want to be, a craftsman or what's the right word?
A career professional.
Yeah, a journeyman. They don't want to be that their focus is just capturing great sound and great performance. These guys want to learn to get the best job to get their own music and their own material out there and in the best possible light. I mean, that's totally valid, but it's a different thing, because you don't have to learn how to record every different style of music necessarily. That may or may not be important if your bag isn't all that inclusive. But if you're going to be a journeyman engineer, you need to learn how to do everything.
So AES,
I must add too, though, that arguably the best thing about mastering is you don't get pigeonholed. I do everything, and it's great. You know, I don't get stuck doing which you might have. 20 years ago, if you're an engineer, you had a hit record or two doing like just country music or just hip hop or, fill in the blank, that your career might be, confined in that way. I would think that maybe the best advice, if you want to be in music recording engineering, that you go out and learn about what real music sounds like. Maybe go to venues. Make friends. It's all about connections. It's all about networking.
So maybe learn how to mix live music.
That's a whole other skill set. But yes, that would not be a bad thing at all. As a quick aside, there's a buddy of mine, Vance Powell, wonderful cat and a Grammy-winning, and deservedly so, multi-Grammy-winning engineer. We studio guys used to kind of look down our noses at live sound guys. It's like, have a beer and hit on the guitar player's girlfriend, that type of, live sound guy. No, it was Vance who himself has done like oodles of years of road work. He said, bro, what's the very first thing you do when you do a live sound install? You throw a cable up over the thing and you suspend a 10,000-pound line array and you watch it do this. And what is that? What is that? I said, that's the wire flexing? He says, no, that's the fucking ceiling doing this. And you're going to put paying people in their seats right underneath that thing? You better know what you're doing. So I have untold respect for people who do live sound. But musically, I think you need to know what it's supposed to sound like, what it does sound like, and what the kind of the finish line is. What you need to deliver in the marketplace, and that is a moving target. Now, especially now that we have streaming. I mean, my God, all these different things. Spotify has its level.
Pandora.
Yeah, I mean, all these streaming
iTunes.
Services have oodles of different specificities about what they need and want. The great thing to me about the streaming things, if there is such a thing, because they're really bad for musicians, I think, as far as the money. But that's a topic for another day. But the loudness wars that have been a big part of the dearth of mastering for some number of years is starting to go away because of the streaming services. If you have something that's super loud and hyper compressed, it sounds way puny on those things. And if you have something that is dynamic and exciting but less loud, it sounds incredibly better on the streaming services. So that is a big service they do for music.
Excellent. Good advice for the young audio engineer.